had some concerns that you brought to the attention of the bailiff to bring them to me. So we're going to address those. So tell me what your concerns are.
I work with a lot of the witnesses, and it's the fire department I work for, so everyone talks and everyone knows jury I'm on, So when I go to work, it's all they talk about. And I can't really avoid it because, I'm on call with them, I eat dinner with them. I sleep in the room next to them, so.
All right, so let's talk about that. So when I go to work, why are you going to work?
I go to work after.
Why? What makes you think that you're supposed to be at work instead of being here full-time as a juror?
I was instructed to.
Instructed to by who?
By my chief, sir.
What's your chief's name?
Now that you asked me that. I recently started working. I don't remember his name. I can get it for you.
All right. Oh, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
What
Precinct.
precinct? What station do you work for?
Oh, 6. Station 6.
All right. Now, did you inform your superior? Is he your direct superior? The chief. He's the chief for your district.
Yeah.
All right.
At jury duty?
Let's back up. All right. When did you tell him you had jury duty?
Whenever they call me the morning of. So.
All right. Did you inform him before you came for jury selection that you were in the pool of jury people? All right. And then when you got the call Friday afternoon, what did you do the day that you were questioned to be here? The day that you were here that we did void ire where you were sitting in the box?
I was working.
All right. Okay. And did you tell him that you were on jury duty and he instructed you to work?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you told him you were selected for the jury, and what did he tell you?
But show up to work after jury duty was done.
So, and how many days have you been working since this case, since you were, we'll just say since Friday?
2, tomorrow would be my 3rd.
All right, and you're working 12 hours on, 36 off. What's your deal?
It's 24 on, 48 off.
All right. Do you have a copy of the Cherokee County Personnel Procedures Manual? Did they give you one of those when you started working for the county?
They may have. I'm not sure. I can ask about it, though. I don't believe so.
Well, I'm going to call Chief Robinson and make sure that your boss knows what it says, but you should not be working. You should not be told in to come to work. I have told people that have overnight shifts that they can't do that while they're on the jury. Would you want a juror to sit in on your case if you were charged with a crime and they were sitting after working for 24 hours? No, of course not.
Yeah.
Okay, so policy number 6.31, any regular full-time employee who's required to serve on the jury or as a result of Cherokee County duties required to appear before a court, blah, blah, blah. You are on excused leave with pay. Time away will not affect vacation or sick leave accruals, etc. So they should not be directing you to work. Now, when I got word of this earlier, I looked up the policy myself and contacted the HR department and copied the county manager and said, I have a juror who's told me that they're working, and that doesn't seem like that's supposed to be what happened. So I want to make sure that I was correct in that information. So if you're not working, then you're not going to be in the station with your employees, co-employees and workers who know about this case, and therefore can't be talking to you about it. Now, I expect lawyers are going to ask you questions about that, but I'm going to start it. So what has anyone said to you about this case?
They talked about stories they heard. They didn't run the case directly, but they've heard, I
Right.
guess, from.
Because this happened 6 years ago, so I doubt anyone that's in your
They're
there,
all-
other than maybe the chief, was actually working back
They're
then.
older guys, all
Right.
of them. Station 6 is kind of like a retirement
Okay.
home, but they had stories from, I guess, Captain Love. They'd heard that, they showed up on scene and they were called out to a possible burning or person down.
And did you explain to them that you're a juror and they didn't need to talk to you about the case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Y'all want to ask them any questions about any of that?
Judge, if I might.
Go ahead. Oh, I was supposed to tell Jody I was starting this, but then we started early. But anyway, who is aware?
What we want to do is ask questions. I'm trying not to go into great detail because obviously you're a juror of the case. And have you heard anything about the case that is something that you have not heard so far?
No, not at the time.
Did you feel like you were pressured one way or the other because of what you heard or where you work?
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Do you feel like that pressure has caused you to lean one way or another in the case?
I'd say so.
And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like you could not set that up? If the judge is instructing you, how it works is if he instructs you about what you've heard, and that's what we call extrajudicial. It's outside of the evidence. Can you set that aside and just listen to the evidence in the case from this point on?
I've tried to. That's why it's been brought up so late. I just try to, ignore it, remove myself from the situation, but I've already been tainted.
If you're not going back to work and things like that for the rest of the trial, can you?
I can possibly, yeah.
Okay, could you just listen to the evidence and decide based on the evidence and law?
I can try as best as I can. Yes, sir.
And could you be? The term is equipoise. If you have perfect balance, you're not leaning to the defense, you're not leaning to the state. Your job is just to get you the truth. Can you be perfectly in equipoise based on the charge of the court and what you? Just under your oath, could you do that?
Yes.
All right. Anything? I really don't want you to ask any more questions about that. I just want to ask you to ask them specific questions about what conversations they've
Very
had.
specific. So in these conversations that you had with coworkers, have you relayed any of that extrajudicial information to other potential jurors or other jurors on this jury?
No, sir.
Okay. But you can still be fair and impartial,
Yes, sir.
listening just to the facts of this case.
Yes, sir.
All right. You can be excused.